All right, so we are live, and if anybody checking in can just tell me if you can hear me well. I'll try to see it. I'm a little far away. But today I'm going to be showing you a few things that you can do to help open up your SI joint and pelvis, which is connected with a lot of back issues. Most people are extremely tight on the inner thigh, and the inner thigh, they're extremely tight here, they're extremely weak here. So I'm just going to show you one thing we're going to do as a warm-up that will help loosen up the area, because like I said before, you always want to warm up the body before you do any of these type of stretches. And I'm talking about really warmed up. So like you are sweating, your muscles are loose, and then you go into the stretch. You never want to do this when your body's cold, when your muscles are, tightened up and cold. So, first thing, Mercedes, I'm going to have you do is we're just going to do the drop out. So you're just going to drop the leg out to the side, open up, and now she's keeping her spine stable and mobilizing the hip. This is very important. Then she's going to come back up. And so you can do this too at home before you do these stretches that I'm about to show you. So just open up each time, try to push a little bit farther. Some of you might be so tight that you can't even go this far. Mercedes is now loosened up. When she first started, she was only able to go right about here, and now she's able to push close down to the ground. So you can do a few of these. We call these clams or knee side dropouts. But the point here is you want to push your back down to the ground so your pelvis is in neutral while you open the spine. This will stabilize the spine and use your abs while you're mobilizing the hip. This is where a lot of people have issues. You should feel the stretch on the inner thigh and feel the glute activate. You should be squeezing the glute. So we'll just do the other side. You guys can follow along while you're doing this. So cambio, otro lado, solo como cuatro. See, from the other side you can't see, but this now you can see how she stabilizes, and I'll show you how she pushes her back flat. So espalda, piso. Now this is in neutral and stable as she opens the hip. Un poco más. And so this is a warm-up to the next stretch that we're going to do. She's already done most of a training program today, so I'm just showing you a small piece of this, and then we're going to get into the stretch. All right, para. Y ahora, roll onto the side. Sí. Y siente en esta dirección. Sí. Con tu pie. Sí, como así. Entonces, all right, so this stretch here, it looks like the butterfly stretch, but it's not. And there's many details that will be completely different than the butterfly stretch. Usually the butterfly stretch is just trying to open this up. For this one, you want to get into the correct position. So for Mercedes, I'm going to actually have her move her feet a little forward more. Poco más adelante, sí. Right there. Now, ideally, you want to grab around the feet here. Can they see that? Oh, let me turn this slightly. Okay, so ideally, you want to grab around the feet. If you can't reach that far, that's okay. Just grab your ankles. You're going to sit up as straight as possible so your back is straight. We don't want to round. And then you're going to pull with your elbows in, tucked in, towards you. So now she's going to pull forward, tuck the elbows in, and pull forward. And then she's going to slowly push her head forward and up. So, and pull. Sí. Bien. Y bien, bend. Sí. Un poco más. Como así. Sí. And then when you do this, you want to focus on the stretch here. You might feel it in your glutes and your inner thigh. Relax. Come back. So we're going to do this 3 times. We're going to hold it for about 12 to 15 seconds. But I want her to feel it in those areas. So, ¿dónde tú sientes?
¿Qué?
Sí.
¿Y aquí?
¿Y mucho?
Sí.
¿Y entre 1 y 10?
8.
8. Okay, otra vez, la misma cosa. Okay, so now we're doing it the 3rd time. This in more, sí. Y ¿cómo tú sientes? ¿Más que 8?
Sí, 9.
Breathe. Exhale un poco más, un poco más. Para. Okay, so if you saw, I asked her how she felt. She felt at a 9 of the stretch, so it was a very intense stretch. We've already done a few sessions, so I'm pushing her more today. I asked her to take a breath. Your breath is extremely important with the stretching. As you exhale, you go into parasympathetic drive, which means that you're more relaxed. You're easily able to flow into a deeper stretch. So we're going to do it again. We're going to do breathing, so inhales and then exhale and go deeper. And if you noticed, she was at a 9, but she was able to go way deeper into the stretch. So this is the last time we're going to do it. So she's up, back straight. Okay, and now takes a deep breath in, respirar, profundo, y exhale. Y elbows poco más, sí. Poco más. ¿Cómo te sientes? 9.
10.
10. Está. Para. Ok. ¿Dónde tú sientes? Aquí, en todas partes.
Sí.
Okay, so she felt it go all the way up here, and this is actually where her problem is. So this is what we want to get to. When people are locked up on the inner thigh and they're very weak on the outer thigh or the glutes, specifically the glute medius, there's a ton of pressure on the lower back and the lower spine. And so now what we're doing, with some of the exercises we did before this as well, we're opening up, we're loosening up, we're activating that area. So now her pelvis is way more open. Her spine is stable now because of some of the exercises we're doing. So we've mobilized the hips, we've stabilized the spine, and now I'll show you the stretch we're going to do now is the one we did next week. Or sorry, the one we did last week. So so we're going to get into that. You guys can watch and follow along as well. Go ahead and extend your legs out. Sí, vienes. Okay, so now for this we might need the strap. So last week someone was asking where could they get this strap. I've improvised. This is actually the case that I use for the tripod. So we do have straps that are meant specifically for this, but I don't have them here. But I can put a link down if people want the strap, because the strap can be very important. We have loops that allow you to go further and further into the stretch. This one is not meant for this, but we're using it, and you can use anything around the house if you need, but the straps that we made specifically for this just make it that much better. So now we're going to go forward, and if you notice it, for anybody who was watching last week, she's way better in just 2 sessions. And now, respirar. ¿Cómo te sientes? Relax. ¿Dónde te sientes? Todo partes? Ahora? Okay, so now she's starting to feel her low back. This is what I wanted. Before, she was only able to feel her hamstrings. Now we're loosening up her hamstrings in her body, and we're starting to access the back. So now she's in a better position. She's sitting up straighter. We're going to go deeper and deeper into it. So go ahead and make your ankles closer. Let's see. Y sit up straight. Sí, más. Y aquí. Un poco más. Yo quiero sentir tu espalda.
I feel.
Sí. Respirar. Un poco más. Para. Okay, so that was the second set. I want you to watch as she goes deeper and deeper into this. For those of you, like I said, that did watch, she's way better in just 2 sessions. This is how amazing the body is when you give it stimulus and response. It will create pretty much anything. You can kind of progress on any level for most people. So, someone might say, oh, I'm not flexible. I can't do that. I've seen people all the way back here that have gone to touch their forehead to their knees after, sometimes it takes a few months, but it's possible. So, don't say I'm not flexible. You can do anything through small steps, stimulus, and response. The last one, sit up straight, más, sí, más. Y más aquí. Y entonces más, poco más, poco más. ¿Tú sientes tu espalda?
Yeah. Oh.
Sí, aquí, más. ¿Cómo tú sientes entre 1 y entre 10?
9.
Sí,
Nine.
poco más. Poco más. Para. Okay, so, relajado. All right, so now, if you see, she's feeling it a lot, and this is normal. This program is not for people who want the Band-Aid approach. This is people who want to go outside of the comfort zone. Unfortunately, with this, you do have to go outside of the comfort zone, and the benefits are you're going to feel amazing. So, how do you feel right now?
Good. Relax. I want to sleep. Do sleep.
All right, so yeah, so one of the benefits is actually you sleep way better when you do this. So any questions, comments, go ahead and leave it below. We just showed right now how you can do an exercise called the clam or the knee side dropout, we call it, and that opens up the hip. Before we did the stretch, which we called the Chrysalis stretch, because it's where the transformation happens, and then we did the seated jackknife stretch using the strap. Just those two things alone, you're going to feel way better in your lower back, your entire body. So I hope this helps. Any questions, comments, go ahead and leave below. Have a great day.